here is Angry Grandpa. Today we're gonna talk about Object 490, the tank that I've unlocked it from Moscow Calling event, and we're gonna talk about plus and minuses. It's gonna be a short video, not with the gameplay. The gameplay is gonna be on the live stream. So let's go a bit to the armor itself. So this is the model of the tank, or how you want to speak about it, and the armor calculator. So you're gonna face up the tank basically like this. Let me put it like this. So it's like this basically. You have a spaced composite armor and another one basically. So in this area you're gonna be easily penetrated by 807 penetration guns, mostly tier 9, 8, 9, 10. Depends, but tier 8. On the upper plate, nothing. You need 1500 penetration to penetrate this tank. On top, this is minor damage, it doesn't help. This is the track section. Sideways, it's very thin, to speak the least. Even though if it shoots the gun, it still needs to have like 560 penetration. Even if it shoots, let's say, the side area, still needs to have some good penetration, rounds in order to penetrate this tank. From the back, it's basically a light tank or a medium in a small tier. The moment you get flanked, it's gonna be a problem. I was playing in two fights, like a TD, end up pretty well, and in 2 fights I end up playing like a mobile battle tank, and in one of these two as a mobile battle tank, like front line, I end up being raped from behind. Raped by, speaking about, not sexually, but by the tanks itself. If you get yourself, let's say, from the sides by a Bradley or a K21, or I don't know, a Sprut, a Terminator, a Ramka, something like this, you're totally toasted. Because the only thing with this tank, you need to face an enemy frontally. You don't go sideways because you don't have gun depression. As you see, it doesn't exist. It helps you, let's say, if you do like this, let's say if you go around the hill, yeah, like to be like this, yeah, it helps. But don't try to face an enemy, like to shoot him like this from this area, or like this. You need to, this is the maximum area where you can go with your gun. Frontally, the tank is impenetrable. I've received the ATGMs, rockets, everything. No one could penetrate me, but the moment I turn my tank sideways, I've got very fast injured, like everything went inside. The gun, it's really decent. It's the same gun as some tier 10s. Of the mediums, is nothing unusual. I don't know why some people should speak about getting this tank nerfed, because even Challenger from tier 10, it has the same, or not the same, but nearly the same gun. His is much better because it has more options, but the armor of that tank is much better. Even the type from Zhangfeng Text Tree or other tanks, other mediums, they have better armor than this tank. So why this tank should be nerfed, I have no freaking idea why. Even an M1 Abrams is much better than this one when it comes to armor, because it has a turret that can turn around. This tank doesn't. Well, it has a turreted gun, but look, if someone flanks me, I cannot cover myself or defend myself. I have to turn myself with the entire tank, so I face him. You know what I talk about. The gun is the same like some tier 10s, as I said. Penetration is the same, only frontally cannot get any rocket shells. That's the main thing about this tank. So if you face an enemy frontally, game is over for the enemy. If you face the enemy from sideways or from the back, you are dead immediately. yeah, you don't get crew injured very fast. I've got one commander knockout in 2 matches on a row just because of some ATGMs. But I managed to get it back, in the fight. Mobility wise, the tank, it's quite sluggish when it sits and does like this. Traverse speed, it's quite slow. Ammo is enough. You have enough ammo, 850 by 1050 damage. The damage doesn't always gives you 1050 or maximum, so it really means where you aim. So don't try with this tank to do cheeky shots, like to hit, I don't know, I have a big gun, I'm gonna aim everywhere. It doesn't always penetrate. See, you have to aim, and even though, let's say you see an enemy that's like this, don't try to hit him. Try to go after the arrow or the crosshair it's pointing, and you can do penetration. Otherwise, don't aim like a noob. Try to get yourself a big repair kit, an improved fire extinguisher, and first aid cabinet. And if you play a PvE, try to get also a fuel rebuild kit. Sometimes that fuel rebuild kit will help you with ammo or will help you with your injured crew, because or tank, because when you get flanked, you're gonna get very fast let's say ammo, engine, tracks. Keep in mind this tank has 2 tracks, 2 motors, 2 engines, which it means 2 tracks each side. So if he gets the first engine knockout, the tank is still gonna go on, but it's gonna be quite sluggish. So try not to go in a fight without those, especially a big repair kit to repair everything in your tank every minute or so. Pretty much this was, guys. The view range, it isn't so splendid, but you need to put on this tank some equipment, some consumables, something, in order to be fully happy when you play. And the damage output is also nice. It gives you a tremendous amount of fun, and it's a really enjoyable tank to play and have. So if it's still the offer on and you still want to get this tank, go ahead and get it, because this is like a one-time opportunity to get a free tank for a limited amount of credits or money that you put in the game. But don't forget, you need to be at nearly half of the road towards this tank. I hope you're gonna have a nice day, and I'll catch you on the live stream.